Okay guys, so you just created pixel brushes on this worksheet. Now we're going to play around with vector brushes. So a couple things before we get into that. I want to also describe the difference between pixel and brushes. And we talked about this in class, but if you actually zoom in, you could see that with the pixel brushes, you'll actually see little squares. Those are called pixels, and that color is filled, those squares are filled in with that color. Okay, with vector, right, it creates that mathematical equation where the lines will be smooth, so you won't actually see the pixels. And if you notice too here on the layer palette, okay, on the layer palette on the right hand side, with my layers, that first one, that worksheet, has that picture icon next to it, okay, so it's an image. The one above was our pixel brushes, and you see that there are little dots with that icon letting us know that it's pixel. When we actually use our vector brush, so it's that third one down on the left hand side, it's going to create it on a new layer, and you'll see that that layer has a different symbol. Okay, so let's grab a brush, a vector brush, make sure it says vector here at the top, and you can just choose any brush that you like. I'm going to do basic and taper. I'm going to choose a color. I'm going to maybe do an orange, and I'm just going to do opacity of 100 on this one, and I'm going to change the brush size maybe to 18. Okay, and in this box here, I'm going to draw a line, okay, or a design. You kind of decide what you want to do here, but you notice it put it on a new layer, and with that layer it's actually a circle instead of those little squares. That's indicating that it's a vector brush. And if I actually zoom in, you can see I have these very smooth lines, and it's not all pixelated like the pixel brushes. And you notice even the worksheet, you can see that it has those pixels as well. Okay, this is very important for some designs, right? Especially if we want to blow up that design. So let's create 2 more brushes in those other boxes. I want you to change the color, size, opacity, and brush type. I'm going to do one more with you guys, and then you guys can try the other one on your own. I'm going to use maybe basic terminal, change the color to a red, maybe a darker red, maybe the opacity down on this one, and I'm going to change the size and bring it up a little bit. And I'm going to just draw in that box, maybe overlap, and you can see how it intensifies that color. Okay, do one more on your own, and then we'll move on and through the next video for live brushes.